I guess. All right, you want to start off?
I'm Jordan.
I'm AJ.
I'm Casey.
It's your boy.
Starting off with this podcast, we got a special guest on it, a good friend of mine, Casey King from school. He is a content creator for the Twitch community, and we brought him in here to talk about that. So go ahead, start it off, bud.
Start it off? Just talk about anything?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, how did you hear about our podcast? Did AJ talk to you about it?
AJ sent me a message, but I actually heard about it from Landon. I don't know if all listeners would know Landon, but he's a good friend of both of ours, mutual friend, and I mentioned to him that I was doing my own podcast, and he was like, AJ does a podcast, and I was like, AJ? I love AJ. I thought you were living in Fargo, I'm gonna be honest. But you decided to hit me up, and I was definitely down to come on.
Oh yeah,
I miss talking to you, dude.
Yeah, same. It's been a while. Been too long. I've actually moved out to Duluth about 2 years ago, so
Okay.
been living life up there. So
Are you living in Duluth then, or?
yeah, currently, yeah.
Okay.
So
Are you just back for the podcast specifically right now, or what were you up to?
pretty much just that, visiting and back for the podcasts. I know we're starting up reviews for like movies and stuff like that. So me and John actually went to go watch Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark last night and give our analysis on that, and if it was a good movie or not. So it was pretty decent. It wasn't too bad. So
Forgot that was recording.
Yeah, you're good. No, don't worry about it.
I think it could have been a lot scarier. I guess it's more just kind of like a PG-13 kind of horror film.
Okay.
I was expecting it to be like horrendifying and like just all out there, but
I'm gonna be honest, you're gonna have to show me like an actual scary movie sometime, because whenever I watch them, I'm just never spooked. Like, I will sit through an entire scary movie, I'll be like there might be like a few jump scares, but jump scares are boring to me. Like, I want something that like makes me feel like scared inside, like.
Have you seen the on Netflix? They have The Haunting of Hill House.
No.
Ooh, that's dope.
That one's real scary?
It's definitely like, it's not like jump scare a whole lot. It's dope. It's kind of hard to explain. Like, there's so much that happens, and then it there's a time jump too. So like it talks about when the family was younger, and like the kids were like still kids yet, living in the house, and like all the weird shit that happened, and then it goes back to when they're older and how they're kind of all fucked up from it. And it's really, really good. But like, one of the things is, you don't notice it the first time, but you go back and you watch it like slower, and there's like different hands where there shouldn't be. There's like different like people standing there that shouldn't be, like just weird little shit like all throughout the scenes as you watch it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so like they went through and they did like a lot with it. It's really dope.
I left the room for a brief moment. What are we talking about?
we're talking about scary movies. I just explaining how we're starting to do like movie reviews and give our opinions on it and stuff like that. And so I was talking about Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark and how it's...
That's what you were talking about just now?
No, he's talking about Haunting Hill House.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't seen that. I'm meaning to see it.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah. It looked really good.
Scary Stories wasn't that bad.
No. That's what I was explaining, is more like PG-13. It could have been way more scarier.
Some parts felt a little cheesier. If Guillermo del Toro was directing it, he could have made it a little better. But, I mean, he wrote the screenplay.
Well, I mean, it's based off of kids' books. I think they were trying to get more like kids to go and watch
kitty
it.
scary.
Yeah.
Just give me that look.
No.
Like kitty scary?
I don't know if horror movies and kids really like go hand in hand. Like,
yeah.
Ever. If you're gonna make a horror movie, just go all the way. Like.
You know what? The one horror movie like I'm waiting for it was supposed to be out like 2 years ago. The New Mutants.
Oh yeah.
Has anybody heard about that one?
I've heard of it. I just don't remember it. It's been too long.
It's supposed to be like an X-Men movie, and that's actually the comic book that it comes from. It's called The New Mutants. They made it. Like, they've postponed it like 2 or 3 times now, like on releasing. It's supposed to come out now next April.
I think that's because there were so many other like competing movies? Titles, right? Like that show Carnival Row. Why that hasn't been released yet? I mean, it's like, I don't know if it's out now. I can't remember.
It'll be out next month.
They just don't want to release it at the same time as other titles, or?
Right, I think that's the case. Because then you had Dark Phoenix, you had Endgame,
The Swamp.
Hellboy.
There's been a lot, yeah.
The Swamp Thing.
The Swamp Thing, that's canceled.
It feels like you'd want to be like confident enough in your movie though to just like drop it, like, because you could keep waiting, but there's always going to be new movies coming out. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing is like you have actors in there who were younger when they filmed, who are now like they're getting older.
2 years older.
Yeah. Like how long are you gonna sit on it? Is this gonna be like a straight to video kind of deal?
Right.
Why pay that much then?
There's a new Joker. I'm looking forward to the Joker.
Oh, that's the one with Joaquin Phoenix, right?
Yeah, that looks interesting. Apparently, it's its own entity.
Yeah, but, like people keep saying that you always look for like Heath Ledger's Joker, you know. Apparently, it's the exact opposite. It's like a documentary, like Joker type series or movie, which is interesting. That's what I've read anyway.
Cool. Like a true crime.
Yeah, kind of.
I think it'd be really good. And Joaquin is getting pissed off about that.
But people aren't giving him credit, or?
No. People keep saying, oh, well, he's not Heath Ledger and stuff like that. And he actually made a tweet about it. He's like, I'm not Heath Ledger. Nobody's ever going to replace him as the Joker. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just doing my own spin off of it. And then I think he told everybody to piss off or something like that on his tweet. So
yeah, they kind of shit the bed with Jared Leto. I liked his Joker. I liked aspects of his. I liked that he was straight up gangsta. But the story wasn't there for him.
It's not that I don't think the story was there for him. I don't think they expanded that world enough to show like how he complements the storyline. Like the longer that we talk about it, like the more like I think about it, the more I'm like, I don't think we really got to see everything though. Because I mean, you look at like all the other
David Ayer.
Yeah,
he went back and like did a bunch of reshoots and like rewrites.
Yeah, but I mean, you look at like all the way like the other villains are in that movie. Like he ties in perfectly with them, like with that style.
Yeah, he's kind of in the background a whole lot.
But they don't really show any of like the lower level villains. I mean, what villains have you really gotten to see in the DC franchise so far?
Suicide Squad.
That's it.
That's it.
I mean, you got to see like Man of Steel, but that was Zod. Okay, so that's not like a street level villain at all.
no, that's like his main.
Batman versus Superman, you had Doomsday.
Yeah.
Again, not that street level.
Yeah, they kind of ruined Doomsday in that movie. He looked just nasty.
He looked icky.
It's caca.
It was straight up caca. So diverting a little bit, Casey.
That's me.
How long have you been streaming?
So I started streaming, I guess. So I started actually streaming just out of high school. So like that would be 2016 when we graduated. But I've been making like YouTube content ever like all through high school. So I started maybe the freshman year of high school. So that would have been like 2012, I guess. So like I like to think that I'm relatively experienced and like I've learned quite a bit over the years. But it's kind of funny, like even going back to like a year ago, like that's like 5 years of content creation. You'd think I would have like figured it out by then. My year ago content was trash compared to like what I'm doing now. So it's definitely been a bit of a journey, but it's cool.
That's the thing with creating content is we find that too. Like sometimes I love going back and like listening to older podcasts, or even our Let's Plays now that we've started doing. And I'm like, I hear certain things that I'm like, I wish I would have said that. I wish we would have talked about this instead, or like the quality. So like looking back at older shit just kind of throws you off,
Definitely.
And like I said, like we just branch off, like we'll just randomly start talking, and then like it just leads off into shit. So we're not like,
we keep talking about having like a format and structure, and then we just ramble too much.
I don't think there's a problem necessarily with rambling too, especially like on a podcast. I do think that there should be like somebody who kind of leads it along, and like keeps you on topic. That's what's really nice about setting up topics beforehand, where it's like, okay, well, we got these 5 things we want to cover. We're kind of rambling now. Let's figure out how to get it on to the next one. And like if you have everybody trying to do that, then everyone's like trying to take the role. If you just have like one dude being like, okay, you guys need to shut up, and then we're gonna move on.
Yeah, I think our problem is we just need to start firing people.
We need to start letting people.
Hey man, we need to let you go.
Do you guys watch a lot of podcasts on Twitch or anything?
Not on Twitch. Me and Jordan are really into Joe Rogan.
Okay.
I was
Joe Rogan's like the most popular podcast.
Yeah.
Not to jump in front of you, but
no. I was just gonna say I was just watching the MMA one he did recently with Brendan Schaub.
Yep. I throw his podcasts on every morning when I open the store when I work. So 2 days ago I got through like 2.5 podcasts because I mean he's got like some hour ones and like some 3-hour ones. And I was actually reading about him. Dude, allegedly he makes $100,000 per episode.
that's so crazy.
That's nuts.
And he releases like 3 or 4 a week. They're not exactly daily, but he releases a few a week.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes he doubles up too, so
Right.
he'll do like 2 or 3 in a day.
So does he play ads during those podcasts then? Like
No, they record them live, and
I wonder where the profit comes in then. He just gets paid to do them. Is he sponsored? Like
I would assume. I mean, he doesn't try this, look at this, buy this, I love this, and he'll actually mention that too. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not getting paid by these guys, but I use it, so I think I recommend it.
There's some stuff that he does, like he owns partially the Onnit.
Yeah, he owns like his own
supplements. That's more of like a nootropic.
Right.
So I mean, there's some stuff of his that he might slide in there every once in a while, but I mean that's his own stuff. I don't know why he would pay himself to do the podcast.
That's what always confuses me, like the monetization model, because you always got to think about where the money comes from, and I haven't been in podcasts long enough to really understand a lot of those things. So it's just like really intriguing to me. Podcasts are going to explode though, like over the next year. That's what all the experts are predicting and stuff. So
it's crazy how many exist now.
Yeah.
And I feel like we were jumping on the bandwagon a little late, but it was just, we've been talking about doing something like this for a few years and never actually got around to doing it. And then finally we're like, why don't we do it?
Well, yeah, we had so many ideas of like, well, yeah, but if we do it, we should do it like this. And then we never actually agreed on it until I got to the point where it's like, you know what, fuck it, let's just get the place and we'll work it out from there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We were putting too much thought because, I mean, growing up on certain shows like Attack of the Show or, like G4 in general, which is gone now.
Rip.
Tech TV, because I'm a little bit older.
Yeah, it was Tech TV before G4, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think I was on the tail end of that, but I grew up mostly on G4. Anyway, so we had this idea of like, dude, we're gonna come in, we're gonna do this whole professional production, we're gonna have guests, we're gonna have, we're gonna record everything, and then we come in here, we sit in front of a mic, and then we just bullshit. But we're learning from each podcast, and I think we're figuring out our structure a little more.
Yeah,
I love the idea though of just buying the place and just doing it from there, because I think that's like people's biggest problem. They just don't do it. Like they don't start it, and it's just like once you start, then it's like, okay, well now we'll figure it out. But
exactly, you just think too much about it.
Most people's like they want everything to be perfect, and like as you guys know, nothing's gonna be. Your first episode's probably gonna suck. And you just gotta like accept that,
It kind of did.
Yeah. I mean, it's still fresh enough where like it wasn't the best. I'm sure in like a year or two, we're like, ooh, fuck, that was
that
was bad.
So when you started Twitch, you said you started in 2016.
Yeah.
But before then you were creating just content
on YouTube.
YouTube. Like what kind of stuff were you uploading?
So on YouTube I was doing a lot of like highlights and stuff like that. So I would just like take gameplay with like friends and stuff, and I would compile that into videos. I try to steer away from that recently because everyone does that, and that's like the biggest problem. If you want to stick out, you kind of have to have like something that's unique about your content. So it was like really difficult to stick out with like gameplay because it's like I guess I'm funny sometimes, but I don't think I'm any funnier than the next guy,
Yeah.
So recently I've been doing sort of like I don't want to call them tips because I don't think I have the credibility to provide anybody with like tips because like I'm still pretty small, But I've been doing kind of like motivational stuff because I think that I am very confident in like the content that I do, and I feel like very good about like the way that I handle my content because it's all mentality. So I've been kind of sharing that with people, how I stay like positive and everything, and that's doing pretty well. I'm kind of sticking with that, which is cool because it's like that's something that a lot of people don't have to offer, and I like that. But.
Yeah, AJ had sent us in our group chat a link, and I was watching your video, and like I really like your backdrop. You got like the shade and then like the lighting behind it. Like it's dope. I like it.
You have something sticking out in the background too, don't you? Like something like you want people to see. I can't remember. What is it? You have like a figure or something in the background?
So I have a couple of little figures. I have a little loaf of bread. I don't know if it's like a plushie.
I think that's what I was looking for.
It's real cute.
You
People
got like
love
the
it.
Twitch logo.
Yeah, the Twitch logo as well. Yeah. So it's really nice. That stuff, like the Twitch logo is nice for like YouTube because then people are like, oh, well, he streams too because they see the logo. You know, if anybody like sees it, they know what it is. Yeah. And then the plushie sticks out because people like plushies. But aside from that, it was like a really cool backdrop, like an idea. So I think a lot of people like they don't have like the like most interesting space, you know. So like a good way to spice it up, what I thought was like I could just buy one of those screens. It was like $100, and I just like threw it up, and it was like okay, threw some lights on it. Lights look good too.
Yeah, just kind of spruce it up a little bit.
Yeah, that was the one thing that like drew me right away. I was like, damn, that's a nice little spot you got set up. Yeah. I like that.
And it's cool because it doesn't even like take that much space up, you know. It's just what's on camera. Yeah.
Right. So in reality, is it as neat as it looks on camera, or are there like a shit ton of wires and plugins?
So behind that screen is actually a storage room. So this is where because we used to have, I lived in a family of 6, and 3 of them have moved out of the house now. So it's just me and then my parents right now. And behind there is just like, there's 3 beds, there's just a ton of boxes, suitcases and everything. But that's my space now.
You're like, yeah, you can use that room.
Yeah. So I just threw up the screen and it like covers up everything. People are like, that looks so nice. I'm like, if you could see behind it. Like,
that's kind of like low-key why we don't want to do a camera right away. This is our first time doing a recording.
I keep forgetting that's over there.
Of the office.
I'm just like focusing out of it, so I'm still kind of.
I'm trying to ignore it.
Yeah.
So I'm not like self-conscious.
Yeah, you
about
guys are
it.
doing great.
Yeah.
Just look right at it the whole time.
Yeah, just talk directly to it.
So yeah.
Just be like that awkward like stage fright. Yeah. So.
But
eventually, want to get like a camera, you know, formation in here, and then each have our own mic, you know, just to look more professional. And
I would say honestly, even do the camera on your next podcast. I would say go buy like a webcam or something, hook it up like on that wall somewhere, and then just like maybe set up like some figurines, like do something with that screen.
Well, the nice thing is, I'm gonna open this up.
Okay.
We actually have a pretty decent view.
Get ready to get blinded, folks. Yeah, so
that's not bad, honestly.
No, it's actually really nice. You know, like especially like if they're ever gonna do something downtown here.
So what I've been doing with my podcast, and I don't know if this is the right thing to do necessarily, so take it with a grain of salt, just a different perspective. But on YouTube, so I've been uploading it to Spotify, and I've been segmenting it. People have been telling me that they don't like that. I'm not a podcast listener, so I needed some feedback, you know? They prefer the hour-long segments, which is weird to me.
Oh, yeah, where people just like the continuation. It's a totally different... you know, game other.
It is, yeah. It's weird.
Like uploading videos to YouTube, where you can like cut and you know do compilations and stuff.
Yeah.
People love listening word for word for however long your podcast is. Ours usually runs an hour, but normally they're like 2 to 3.
Yeah.
People dig it.
And I think the editing for your YouTube is like really cool. The way that like the sound waves and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. But like I think the strength of YouTube is obviously the video. You know, right. So if you could get like some like a camera, it really adds to your guys' personalities because you all like have something to chime in and stuff. So if you had like a face to the personality, I think that would like really help with the YouTube channel.
I think we should. What we really should do is we should get a green screen right here, and then after we edit our videos, we should just put like space right here, just galaxy, and just a big ass green screen.
You know what?
That'd be cool because
not gonna lie, I was thinking the same thing.
Right?
Maybe not right here, but like do like a lame cheesy space background.
So like everything, like you can see everything else. So we're like, oh hey, let me just open up the window, like.
Right. Oh, it's space out there.
But even then, if we did recordings like videos and we added the videos to the podcast, this like even if we just had the window open like this to have the live background, I think is really cool.
I wouldn't mind keeping the lights on if we had air conditioning.
Yeah, honestly.
But I mean,
it's just so not too much heat comes in. I'm gonna close this back.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, and it's pretty sensitive on lens too, where it like gets that shine.
Yeah, if you have like a webcam, that might look a little bit worse. But like even with a phone, like honestly, my phone's pretty good at like autofocusing, so it works a little bit better.
What do you have over there, Samsung?
It's a Samsung Galaxy S10e. So I recently got it.
You're selling S10e?
Yeah, so it's like a smaller version of the S10.
There's the E10 and then 10 Plus.
Note 9. I love notes. I've had a note since 5. I skipped 7 because I don't want to blow up.
Yeah,
I didn't want to have a live hand grenade in my phone.
Yeah.
But I've been recently listening to it. I just binged listened to his podcast. He's who's kind of more of a comedian, Chris D'Elia.
Oh yeah.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
His Congratulations podcast.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Hey, the screen turned off.
Oh, it's fine. It's still recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the screen.
Okay.
Chillax, bud.
All right. I just want to make sure. But what he does is like, so like obviously he's a huge comedian, and like he does like specials and stuff like that, and he goes to different venues. But like, yeah, he'll start off, be like, all right, like he's got a set of topics that he goes through in each podcast. Sometimes he rambles on, sometimes he like, but that's kind of like his thing, is he's a comedian, so like it's always funny.
He says my babies a lot.
Yeah.
Refers to
his group is True Babies.
My babies. Babies. Yeah, he's got a good podcast. Sometimes, like when I'll finish a Joe Rogan podcast, it'll like automatically like go to a Chris D'Elia or Whiskey Ginger. Have you heard about that one?
No.
That one's, I've heard
What's
about it.
What's his name? It's like George Santino or something. Redhead comedian.
I also like the Bobby Lee.
Yeah. What is that one called?
Now that I have to think about it, like it's just...
Right? It's like the Dragon, right? It'll come to me.
Yeah.
It'll come to me.
But yeah, that one he does with his wife.
Yeah.
And then it's like in their garage. It's super like tight, packed in there. Like it's a super small space.
How's that where he does it?
Yeah.
And see, I wouldn't know that. Because he makes it looks like it's so well lit, and he's got a bunch of shit
like
around.
it's super well lit, and there's almost too much shit around.
Yeah.
It looks cluttered. It looks like they have to like squeeze in there. But Bobby Lee is super hilarious. I remember watching him on Mad TV like a long time ago.
What I was gonna say about the guys who podcast on Twitch, you mentioned just firing people, and it made me laugh because they made this like a Royale community. So you battle Royale, obviously, but they do it with podcasts now on like Twitch. There's a lot of podcasts like this where they just invite on like 10 guests, and obviously like in our town that probably wouldn't be feasible.
Yeah.
But they would get on like 10 guests, and then they just have them talk for like 15 minutes, and at the end of the 15 minutes, since it's live, they just have viewers vote, and they'll be like, "Who do you want off?" And then they'll kick one of them off.
That's a sweet idea.
That is a dope idea, dude.
We could come up with like 5.
Yeah.
Like half that.
I think our podcast would be pretty funny. I think it would be really good.
Yeah, we should definitely do a live recording of that and just be like,
Yeah.
vote now.
A lot of the times they do it politically though, so that way like they'll get in like debates and stuff like that, and then they'll be like they'll just vote off whoever didn't say anything or something, and then it gets down to like the last 3, and it's always the same people, but it's interesting. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitch anymore. I used to be really into it a couple years back, but I haven't really watched in like 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, get bad. I'd like follow so many different people and I'd stay up late.
Oh no.
Just play games. I'm like, what am I doing?
I've definitely been there. I have to like monitor myself now, so just with like working on everything recently, like with my channel and then like actual work, I will log on and I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna watch you for like 20 minutes and then I'm gonna leave, and I will just be out of there. But.
So is that like the only, like, do you do your podcast through Twitch and just like stream it elsewhere?
Yeah, so I do it on Twitch. I download the video from Twitch, which is a problem sometimes. You guys have it like in-house, so it's awesome.
Oh, it's still like sometimes our stuff will crash.
Yeah.
Or the audio doesn't sync up with the video, and it's just same. That's why we haven't had any Let's Plays in a few months.
That's what my last one, I was dropping frames on stream.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of happy because I realized something new. Like, I don't know, sometimes like you make a mistake and then you learn from it. That's really cool.
Yeah, you do.
But since it was dropping frames, this is how Twitch does it. I've noticed the audio gets out of sync sometimes when I download the podcast, and it's really annoying to edit then because I have to like resync it. But since I was dropping so many frames, I realized every time it drops the frame, it takes out that section of video that it dropped, but it leaves the audio the same. So that's why, since I dropped like 7,000 frames, and it was just like, okay, so your video is like 7,000 frames behind, but your audio is still exactly as it's supposed to be. So it was just a mess, and I couldn't figure out where anything went.
Yeah, we had something similar happen in one of our Let's Plays, episode 4 in particular. Near the end, like the last, I'd say like 2 to 5 minutes, it's very it's very hard to notice, but it's there.
Yeah.
Where like the audio is just a little behind the visual, and it's so small. But I told Noah, I'm like, hey, did you notice this? Like, and he's like, it's fine. It's so like small. You can't even tell us. I was like, okay, maybe. So if you guys notice that, drop it in the comments. Let us know.
Yeah. That's funny.
So take us back to 2016 when you were starting your Twitch.
Yeah.
Did you have any idea like how to set it up? Did you know what equipment to buy?
So I think I knew how to set it up because I used OBS already, which is like the broadcasting software that most people use, to record my YouTube videos. It's very lightweight, so it's like super nice for actually just recording stuff. Like it's not gonna weigh you down or anything. So I set it up that way, but I didn't really have like any overlays or something. And I think that the funny thing now is everything like is moving towards a more minimalistic like side. So everyone wants like those thick camera overlays. That's what they used to have, and now it's just like even no camera overlay almost looks better. So it's just like I think it was really funny going back and seeing all like the overlays I made for myself and like Microsoft Paint and stuff. And I'm actually like I actually know how to use Photoshop now. Like I've taken classes on it, but like at the time I was like, dude, what are you doing, past Casey? Like they're so ugly. I wish I could show you some of them right now, but oh my goodness.
Yeah, we can take a look because I know. In our experience, we had no fucking clue.
Yeah. Well, you never do. You gotta teach yourself.
We're just like, okay. We thought it was as easy as like just recording it, uploading it, good to go.
Yeah.
YouTube will break it down in its machine, and it'll turn out with the right like screen ratio. It'll correct our audio on its own. No, we gotta do all that.
Yeah. And I was I was interested in starting to do Twitch. At my place because I've got a really expensive PC rig that I got.
Yeah. Jesse is very interested in doing Twitch, and he should be here soon. He's gonna have a ton of questions for you.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to start doing, so then I can go ahead and create content for the channel, even though I'm not here most of the time and I'm in Duluth. I can still contribute through like videos and like, Let's Plays and stuff like that. So I was highly interested in getting into it. Into Twitch and start streaming and stuff like that. So we got more than one person and let me think of the word here, kind of like input, I guess, from a different source. So I'm up in the Duluth branch is what I'm gonna call it.
Yeah, the Duluth branch.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm the head of it right now.
Yeah,
just me.
Just me over there.
No, starting out on Twitch is super cool though. Like I really enjoyed it. I've been trying to think back to what it was like when I like first started, because I've been doing this like so long. I've had like at least like a core like audience. Like I've had like a couple people who support me, which is like super cool. But I don't remember what it's like to start from zero, which is so like it's such a weird feeling now when I'm like starting my podcast, and it's like I don't even know if anybody's ever gonna watch it.
Yeah, you have a couple people that follow you, not many.
Yeah,
1,000, but that's it compared to us. Like how many do we have?
I think on our first video, our first podcast, we had like 120 views. But then so they're kind of fluctuating around.
A lot of those views were me.
I think did you post that anywhere? Or?
5.
What's that?
Did you post your podcast anywhere to like get it up to 120 or?
Just YouTube. Okay. I mean, like we shared it on Facebook.
Okay.
We've recently like kind of died down on sharing stuff on Facebook because nobody really reacts to it there.
Yeah.
Like they'll see it, but then it's not like they're gonna comment every time, and we'll just trust that they click the link.
Yeah, it's hard to be because most of the time it's like people that we know, and most of the time like they're just posting another video again.
Yeah.
And they don't really take it as serious as we do. So like sometimes they'll like react, sometimes they'll watch, but then. Most of the time, nobody interacts with it.
Yeah, and you follow my accounts for my stream. I think it's funny because in high school, I had like my personal accounts, and that was what all my friends followed and stuff.
Yeah.
And there became a point where I was like, okay, well, I was very uncomfortable when I first started streaming. I didn't really want to tell a lot of people about it, especially like people personally, because I thought that like they were gonna make fun of me or something, which is like a fear that I got over. I'm so happy I did. But I made a separate account for my stream.
Yeah.
And that is like my account now. Like I don't use my personal account. I use my stream account, and it's like I don't know. I do have like real life people who follow me on that account too.
Sure.
And like at first I'm like, ooh, that's kind of weird, and now I'm like, they're gonna unfollow me in like a week because this is not real life me. This is like online me.
Yeah.
It's very taxing mentally. Yeah. You're like right now we've been in the discussion of getting our entire channel like a facelift just to kind of reach different audiences as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, sorry, it's Jesse calling me, everybody. Fucking does this every time.
So, are you gonna take the call?
No, it's good.
Okay.
He's probably outside or something. But in conclusion,
Unprofessional.
Unprofessional. Where the fuck was I?
Talking about podcast? Talking about Twitch?
No.
Talking about streaming?
Yeah, uploading. So we all kind of agreed to do this. Like, hey guys, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna go all in, and we have to go in it expecting to not make it.
Yeah.
And I think we've been pretty steady now. That 119 max for the views on our initial podcast, that's been about the height.
No, it's awesome.
But I mean, we still have a steady, views for each podcast, and now Let's Plays that we produce. But it's just one of those things where you can't, become YouTube celebrity overnight, sort of thing.
No, and you're absolutely right going into it with the mentality that you're not going to make it, because honestly, starting out, nothing's good going to happen for at least a couple of years. I don't know, you have to give it at least a year, I would say, before you even start to really understand what you're doing. So
yeah, once you figure out a groove and everyone's on board, it becomes so much easier. I know, the goal for people that start Twitch or YouTube or whatever is to be well, I'm gonna work, do my podcast or whatever, and I'm gonna make so much money, and I'm gonna be able to chill all day. And I mean, that's kind of the goal, but really, I mean, we just like to.
That was my fault. Now, I am unprofessional.
We just like to sit and chill and make cool shit. I mean,
it's awesome.
We're all pretty artistic, so we like to. It's exciting for us to finally have the opportunity to implement that into this.
Yeah.
Or Let's Plays or.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to cut you off there. But,
I'm done.
Okay, because I follow you on Discord, and I like your setup that you have for your Discord, where your top people is within your King's Court.
Yeah,
I thought that was dope. As soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, dude, that's a good name for it. And I can't remember what everybody else. I know you have tiers.
So my last name is King, as we've introduced myself. So I go by TheKingLive online, which is really cool. And I was thinking, well, an obvious jump for that for my community would be the Kingdom. Yeah. So that's what we called it. And then we have the King's Court. Those are mostly the OG of the OGs. My best friends.
Yeah.
A lot of them aren't really active in the Discord, so this is the role that gets the exception. These people aren't really active in the Discord, but they're some of my best friends that I've had in my life, so I leave them up there. But below the King's Court, it's all based off of an interaction. So we have high class, we have townsfolk, and then we have royals or something like that. I don't know. But people start out as townsfolk, and if I notice they're talking for a few days, I just bump them up to high class, and it's just to promote people who are interacting. I have some of my best friends who are in townsfolk because they don't talk on the server. It's just,
yeah, I know. Yeah, because I've got Discord on my phone, and then I've also got it on my desktop. And so I've been trying to keep up with it and trying to follow the Discord whenever I get a chance to, whenever I'm online. But most of the time I want to start getting more into PC games and start actually doing that more. Right now, I'm just doing a PlayStation. And that's pretty much all we do too. Is we just hook up some PlayStation stuff.
Yeah, I'm I've already priced out parts. And stuff to assemble my own tower. It's just actually buying the parts for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should have PC stuff up in September. Late August.
Yeah.
And then from there on.
Is it going to be a pretty decent PC or?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty, modest with the parts. Nothing too high end right off the bat.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to buy, shit quality stuff. But it's enough to produce really good stuff.
Yeah. It really depends on what games you're playing too, I feel
right. Yeah, I'm probably going to stream lower Overwatch. Overwatch actually doesn't take that much.
No, because Blizzard games are pretty well optimized.
Yeah.
Luckily. But if you're playing PUBG or something, ooh. Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5. I really like horror games. So I'm going to be playing a shit ton of horror games.
Horror games run pretty well too.
Yeah.
Because they're so low effort.
But PUBG, I mean, I think PUBG, and then I don't know if you heard of the game Realm Royale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got that too, and those are kind of the two games that I've only got on my console or my rig there. But I was kind of looking more into doing horror games and stuff like that, puzzle games. I think those are pretty dope.
There's a big audience for horror games too. Yeah. But I'm always really worried when I stream about locking myself into one certain community.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're doing the horror games and stuff, I am really careful. My community's grown really slow, but it's like grown really well. Like I will average around 15 viewers on any game that I play, which is super cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, as opposed to like a lot of people that have like 30 viewers when they're playing a horror game, but if they want to play anything other than horror, they can't do it because they'll drop down to like 5 viewers. It's actually crazy. But,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like as soon as you get big enough, that's when you can start like just choosing the one.
Just play whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of just play whatever you want, and then no matter what, as soon as you have that built-up following, you know that you'll at least get a couple hundred views on each of your videos.
Yeah.
So, I guess in the reference, like some of the biggest people that I know I watch and I've heard about as Markiplier and PewDiePie.
Yeah.
They have huge followings, and they started off as like horror games, and that's kind of how they built up. And then, but now, I mean, they play pretty much just about practically anything under the sun, and like most of the time they'll have like thousands of views on each of their videos.
They can do whatever they want.
Exactly. So
I think all of us do actually.
yeah,
Like heavily follow Game Grumps.
oh, definitely.
Dude, they get like hundreds of thousands of views on like every episode that they do.
I think something like really important to remember though is so YouTube's been around a while now, right?
Oh, definitely.
PewDiePie and Markiplier were like one of the first people on the platform.
Yeah.
And that was when it was like a lot smaller, you know, like the gaming YouTube was a lot smaller. So the way that they grew is going to be a lot different than the way that like people nowadays are going to grow.
Yeah.
Same thing with Twitch. Twitch is a big problem right now where people think that it's all based off of luck. Because the first creators on the platform, they had it like, they were one of the first ones. So like people just found them, their stream blew up like that. Now you can't really get lucky. Like there's just so many people on the platform. So a lot of people are like banking on the luck when it's like Twitch has a problem where it's not very discoverable. You can't really search the platform for like specific streamers. And that's where YouTube kind of comes in. Where if you create YouTube content, you can create searchable YouTube content where it's like, a lot of people might be playing horror games, but like a lot of people aren't like, telling you like I don't know what your channel could be about, but like, hey, this is how you set up this mod for this game, you know, and that's a searchable video. It's like, hey, how do I set up this mod? Oh, look, this guy made a video on it, as opposed to if you just did like horror like playthroughs and stuff like that. Basically, like it's all about having value to your content, you know.
Right.
You need to have value to the end user.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Pretty good.
No, else than seeing you.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I almost walked right into that one.
Do we have like an additional chair or?
He just got rid of
Okay, sweet.
We're having the dark
Psychedelic. Right,
Yeah,
true.
He's
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to scoot over a little bit?
okay.
Thanks, bud.
Jesse has entered the podcast.
Yeah, I'm a little late.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm looking at that, and I'm talking to that one.
You don't
too.
need to. Don't worry about it. Like I'm just leaving her up, and then
I forgot. I do forget that's there.
But anyways, yeah, back to how they started. Like YouTube was different. So I mean, of course they could have just started off as the one thing, but now that YouTube's changed so much, there's so much variety. So that's I could see it as that's why they kind of branched out to reach different crowds, to be able to play all these different games and stuff like that. And it's different for people like us starting out, to where we'll have to play different games to kind of like figure out where our crowd's at and figure out what people like us to play and stuff like that.
I feel like you need to test the waters, but I would
Yeah.
honestly like double down on like one category once you like figure out which works for you guys. Like just because if you're all over the place, somebody might find you from like one thing, but then they're like, oh well, he doesn't do this kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, or like we don't post enough content in that category, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, well, whatever, it was nice while it lasted.
Yeah.
And then they dip. So yeah, I don't know. I think we're trying to experiment with our Let's Plays. I know we're doing a Let's Play on Twilight Princess right now.
I was watching that.
Yeah.
How did you set up the Wii? Do you have like a capture card or?
We have the Elgato.
Okay.
And then we just connect it to the tower, and then we sync. We do Audacity for that too, and then we sync it up with the Elgato recording
Yeah.
software they have.
I respect it.
Yeah. We play on that what is it? CRT?
Oh yeah, play on the old CRT, the old tube TV.
The old tube TV.
Wouldn't the
I don't-
on the Wii
I don't think we need to.
the Wii
Yeah, it's on the Wii.
it should play through the flat screen now.
Oh no, we do play it. We do play on the flat screen. I thought.
No, we play.
Really, it's a CRT.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can see the bar up on there still.
So
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to, in order to turn the TV on, you have to like take the old Frankenstein electrical switch.
Oh,
you can feel the electricity.
I think it's because this flat screen doesn't have the old school little colored cords. You know what I mean?
It should. It should.
I thought we looked at it already and we didn't. That's why we bought an adapter.
Are you talking about the AV cables?
Yeah, the AV cables. On that flat screen. I mean, if you want to take a look, go ahead. I mean, you know.
Right now.
Okay, well then, my argument wins for now.
Yeah, let me just kind of do something similar like this, where we throw a snowball. We throw a snowball in front of us and just.
No, that works. Yeah.
We all snuggle on the couch and play games and narrate over it. I like how our YouTube the Let's Plays are coming out now.
Who's very unprofessional.
Turn your phone on. Dude, when
I'm late, my phone's not on silent.
Yeah, no, he called me twice. I had to get up from my comfortable chair.
They took my office keys.
You should have been on time.
You should have been here.
To be fair.
I had work.
Play hooky.
I was busy today.
You could have just gave him
How did I put
the
my
Shaka Bra and dipped out early.
Probably anything. So Jesse,
Yeah?
now that Casey is here with a wealth amount of knowledge on streaming and Twitch, do you have any questions?
Oh, yeah. I just need help.
Okay, yeah, let me just.
Oh yeah, just do it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, my computer's right there, baby.
Let's do it right now.
I mean, I got as far as downloading OBS, and that's it.
Okay. I would just mess around with it a lot. There's a lot of different like ports that you can do. A lot of people like to set up alerts for streaming. So basically, if somebody like follows you, if you ever watch a stream, you see them.
Like obnoxious, like
Bring.
Yeah, the little zombie thing. That, like,
somebody's followed you.
You have like the scrolling thing, like everybody.
Listen.
Yeah. So you can do that through a website called Streamlabs. I would recommend setting that up. They have like default ones. You can customize them. It's pretty easy to customize them through there.
Sweet.
But basically, they'll give you like a port or like a link, and you'll copy that link and you'll open up a browser source. So that'll be like the same way that you would add a game capture or a display capture on your OBS.
Okay.
You click browser source and you just paste that link in there, and then if somebody follows, it'll come up on there.
Now, is that getting into the overlays as well, or is that more just of an aesthetic?
So that's gonna be for like follows and stuff. So basically, that'll just be like if somebody follows you or subscribes, that'll happen. I don't think you can get subscription until you're an affiliate, but that's like 50 followers.
Oh, that little check mark?
Yep.
Yeah, I got that by my name already, so.
Okay, so you might be good then.
Yeah,
I created 50 accounts and I followed you.
I got verified, but I don't know how to stream.
But yeah,
Just
so
word of mouth.
you can get free overlays though from another website. It's called Stream Elements, and I would definitely recommend those ones. They look fine. Yeah. A lot of people spend like a lot of money or a lot of time trying to make their own overlays, which is like, it's fun and it's something to like look into, but when you're just starting out, it's like there's no need to. There's like free overlays everywhere. Yeah. But
Cool. Okay. I'm gonna forget everything you just said by the end of the podcast, so I'll probably just have to have you show me.
That's
Yeah,
why
definitely.
we're recording.
Yeah.
Hey.
hey, there you
Dude,
go.
you could just listen back.
Yeah. And watch. Is this live or is it just?
It's not
recording as
live.
well?
It is recording though. So I was thinking I might just borrow your guys' audio as well, and then just sync them up with the video, and I might upload some of that somewhere.
Sure. Yeah. We
If you're
should
cool with
probably
that.
get like a lamp or something in here. I don't know how's the lighting look on that H.
Oh, yeah, let me check.
That probably looks all right, but
It's a Samsung, son.
Yeah, the lighting looks fine.
Okay.
I didn't think that your camera could see me just
Is it all that wide?
no, yeah. So the Samsung S10e, it's got two different lenses, and like this wasn't what sold me on it, but I'm so glad that I got it because it has like a narrower lens, and I was setting it up and I had the narrow lens on. And I was like, oh, this looks kind of weird. And I was like, let's try the wide lens, and it's just perfect.
That's a super wide shot. Then
Well,
if it's
yeah,
getting
it's-
AJ all the way over here.
It's,
Honestly.
it's weird because because the camera's low.
Now he's just
The camera's right
playing with
here, and I'm sitting right here, and there's no camera over here.
It can see you chilling and see what you're doing on your phone.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just like it's on my phone, and it's still able to pick me up.
I can see myself seeing myself.
No, it's a great camera, honestly. That was a good buy.
I
Like
haven't done anything with it yet.
I've had an iPhone for the longest time, like last 4 or 5 years.
What made you do the switch to Samsung?
I wanted to see the new world.
Yeah.
Everyone's telling me that Samsung's better. People tell me that iPhone's better. I was like, well, I've had an iPhone for 5 years. Let's see what the other end's like. I wasn't particularly disappointed with my iPhone, but I wanted to try the other end. You know?
So for your Samsung, how does it feel to be plugged into the Matrix?
It's kind of nice, honestly. Like there are a lot of like little things that I was like, this is insane. So like the navigator, like the Google Navigator, I can have that up while I have like another thing up. You know?
What's that?
The Google Navigator? What? Like the maps?
Oh, he's being serious.
Okay. like Google Maps, you know? So like if you like looking for like GPS.
Okay. GPS.
Yeah, I like hook up the GPS and then I can exit out of that and go to a different map, but it'll still have like the GPS map up on the screen. So I'll be like, oh, I gotta turn right at the next right.
Oh yeah, okay.
So
I see
it'll
what you're
split
saying.
screen it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Where it, just,
Okay.
it pulls your map into like the little
That
bubble.
that's like a recent update that did.
What note do we have?
Because it does the same thing with like.
Hey, what
have-
notes do we?
Hey, we have Note 9.
Note
Maps have always
9.
done that.
Is it a Note 9?
Maps have always done that?
Yeah.
Well, now they've applied it to YouTube too, so like, which is
Yep.
really annoying sometimes when I like,
It is.
I'm like, okay, I'm done watching this video, and like the little screen will still stay on my home screen.
You have to like swipe it away.
Yeah, like, I was like, fuck, get out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah, the only thing I've done with my camera is just I did the video for the Instagram. Like I posted for the first time on it. Coming up.
Yeah, we did a live stream and then I requested to be a part of it, and so I was live streaming me and John walk down the sidewalk at the same time that it's showing him in the office like, shit, I'm early, and I'm like, no, we're late. We're super late.
No
Oh yeah,
way.
because it's like me like opening the keys to get into the front, and I'm like, I'm way fucking late because they told me like you were already here. They were on their way here. I finished up at work, and so I had to go home and change quick, and then come all the way down.
You guys relate to John and AJ?
It's like you open the door and we're like rolling up cords and packing shit up. Where the fuck were you?
The whole beginning of the video is just me fucking around with keys because I couldn't remember like which one opens which door.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I know we have three different keys. We were gonna do it originally at 3, this podcast, and then I got switched to 1, and then there was a lack of communication.
No, there wasn't. It's just scheduling conflicts is all.
Yeah, and then
Lack of communication.
it went back to 2.
No, I
No, because I still know it at 3. Nobody told me it was changed.
oh, for you, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were throwing shade.
But we are here now, and I think this is an appropriate time for shameless plugs.
Did we plug Casey's?
We introduced him. We didn't tell the audience that he was on Twitch. They've been collecting info as we.
I think they picked up on it.
So, what is your Twitch name? Where can people go to click on your name?
That's the first thing I introduced. I was like, yeah, Casey's a content creator for Twitch. I said that right off the bat.
It's like,
As we're getting into it.
I said he's on Twitch. Yeah, but what's your, what do they call it? Tag?
A
My
handle?
handle?
Your handle.
My handle on Twitch, you can find me at twitch.tv/TheKingLive. You can also find me on YouTube at the same thing, youtube.com/TheKingLive.
Now is that like the King_live? Or
No,
is it
just TheKingLive.
just the King Live?
Yeah.
He's the OG.
That's the
I
King.
wish I was the OG. So there's a guy. His name is just King. That's what I wanted because my last name is King. That's my name. You know?
Right.
But he's partnered, so I don't think I'm getting that anytime
I
soon.
think I've heard of that. Just King. What does he mostly
He
play?
plays like Fortnite.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be like rude, but I don't think you've heard of him. He's like he averages like 10 viewers, but it's like
I follow this YouTube channel. Pretty much just keeps me up on all the gossip and the drama
Yeah.
with Twitch. And I see his name getting tossed in there a lot. Because he's up there with, Ninja and all of them, right? Or
not the last time I checked. He had like 10 viewers. Yeah,
shit.
It's possible, but
I don't...
they might be like referring to the king of Twitch, which would be like I don't know who that would be. That might be like Dr. Disrespect. That might be Ninja. I don't really know. It's not Ninja anymore, but
No.
Yeah.
And Ninja
Yeah.
switched.
he did.
Yeah, he's over at Mixer now.
Mixer.
And there's mixed reviews about his departure from Twitch.
I think
Good one.
who gives a shit. I'm not really a Ninja fan.
I think that it's interesting. I don't know if it's. I mean, like, I don't know how it could be a poor decision for him because they're paying him like tons of money.
Shit ton. He wouldn't have done it otherwise.
Yeah. So it's like he's set for life regardless.
Yeah.
But I think that his stream career might just like fizzle out at this point then. Because if Mixer doesn't take off, then it's like he can't really come back to Twitch. That would look really weird.
Twitch gonna be salty, like,
Yeah. Yeah, honestly.
I think that his plan be for that because I think that would be good just going to YouTube.
Yeah.
He'll probably just end up like the other, YouTube, the was YouTubers, and they'll just try to do, the YouTube Red originals and shit like that.
Yeah.
Can I swear?
Yeah, you can swear.
Okay, fuck
It's our
yes.
fucking podcast.
That's right. I didn't know we had a
No,
guest.
you're good.
Bro, people fucking know that we swear all the time in our podcast. We have a podcast where we legit tried to not swear.
It's hard.
Yeah, I listened to that one actually.
It's so hard.
He said people were commenting that you guys should watch the language.
Yeah, they're like, hey.
Is that family or?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
Like,
That's all he watches us.
because they were like trying to.
Listens.
They're like, yeah, I can't put it on for the kids because you guys swear a lot.
We got here to get away from kids and like actually have adult time, and
They're like, you guys swear a lot, and we're like, we fucking know.
yeah.
Yeah, we do.
We address it in the next podcast, I think.
It's particularly hard for me. I have a disease.
Yeah, you were the fucking worst.
I have a disease.
Yeah, shit.
Oh my god.
That's all good.
Hey, watch your damn mouth, John.
Watch your dang mouth.
You watch your whore mouth.
Alright.
Go back to your home on Whore Island.
So yeah, back to Ninja, there was mixed reviews because like 50-50, half of it was like, you know, good for you, best of luck and all that. And then the other half was like,
Go ahead.
so you got the other half. You got the one half that's like, no, that's a good idea. Sound really far away. The one half that's like rooting for him, the other half is like, Twitch fucking made you. You wouldn't be anything without Twitch and all that.
I absolutely love those people that are like, you owe everything to this person or this entity, and they're like,
But I,
What's going on over here?
I found out by the H3 podcast.
I can only watch 20 minutes of that fucking podcast.
Well, I
think
found-
I'm really out of it.
I found out from them that Twitch is ran by a bunch of 20-something-year-olds.
Yeah.
And I guess, you know, they fuck their streamers. So, like, Alinity. I don't know if I'm just total name dropping. They're not.
You can
No,
name
no,
drop.
you're good.
Okay, so you got, like, Alinity and all these other YouTubers that just get away with murder and then they don't get anything, you know, like, as
Yeah.
far as bans or...
Do we even want to bring up?
no,
Alright.
absolutely not.
Ex-girlfriend.
I feel you, dog. I don't want to talk about that either.
Yeah, no credit on this podcast, no mention, nothing.
Much like we don't credit the
We'll erase him from
those
existence.
brothers. We don't talk about those brothers.
Yeah.
Either. Fucking
Oh.
dummies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now they're just leeching off everyone on everyone
If you
else's
know,
channel.
you know. They actually have. They made a movie with a bunch of other like
Oh, yeah, I heard about
YouTubers
that.
and Instagrammers on. I can't remember. Oh, it's called Airplane Mode. Is the name of the movie, and it's most of it's just green screen and everything like that. And it's,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It has all the was YouTubers. It's
Yeah,
like
pretty
that's
much.
where they go. It's kind of like celebrities and movie stars. They just go to Vegas and they'll just do shows there for the rest of their lives.
It's the dumbest shit.
I'm totally lost. I wasn't paying attention.
I just said that's the dumbest shit just because. I didn't know what you said. I was just
No way, get out of here.
That's dumb, dude.
Yeah, stuff's dumb.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Fucking garbage, bro.
AJ, did you try this CBD oil yet?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think of it? Are you high right now?
Constantly. No, it's pretty good flavor. I like it.
It's
for,
not CBD oil.
for a
it's-
house blend. I think it's pretty good.
It's just vape.
I mostly stick with like the name brand stuff because their flavors
you like
are really
vape?
good. Yeah, I currently vape right now. I'm not one of those big people
How
that
long
like.
have you been a vapor?
I'm not one of those people that do competitions and shit like that. I do it for me.
You're not
That's about it.
a vape bender?
No.
They have competitions for that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they,
Oh my god.
they mod their whole coils and everything like that, and they do it for their competition. The only thing you can measure on is the distance your cloud blows and how wide it is.
Oh my
How
god.
the fuck do you measure that in real time?
They have an actual big paper scale, and you stand on the end of it and you blow down, and then they'll go ahead and measure all of it, and it's like
No.
that's stupid.
They got two people. So they got one that stands next to the vapor with a tape measure, and the second person grabs the end of that tape measure, and right when that cloud comes out, they run backwards as fast as they can.
Yeah. Grab it.
I feel like you just fuck up the cloud from that dude running
Fuck
all
up the
way.
cloud.
The cloud.
They
is
just
like
run
goes
through the
straight
cloud.
up.
Hey, you're gonna fuck up that cloud.
They just like this all the time.
So Casey, like, what games do you mostly
Fucking
play?
Mortal Kombat character.
I'm trying to steer away from games, honestly.
Really?
I think
So
that
what do you do?
But you're a streamer, Casey.
I am. I think Twitch is going away from games slowly but
Okay.
surely.
Are you doing ASMR?
So, yeah, not ASMR, but so we do our podcast every Wednesday, and unfortunately with work I can only stream twice a week.
Oh, you do podcasts?
Yep. So we do our live podcast every Wednesday, and then every Monday I do play like different games, but I'm not really enjoying it as much, so I'm trying to steer it away. So I'm going to start doing just chatting for like an hour at the beginning of my streams, and then probably a little bit at the end. But I've been playing like Apex Legends, I guess. In between that, sometimes Teamfight Tactics. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but
no, not at all.
No, what's that?
it's a League of Legends like mini game that they added.
What's League of Legends? No, I'm just
So do you do Apex Legends on Twitch through your desktop, right?
Yep.
Your rig? Okay. When I go home, I'm gonna download that because it should be
Yeah, we're gonna play.
$3.99, right?
Free 99, yeah.
Okay, so I'll download that and then we can start hooking that shit up. Too.
Absolutely, dude.
Jeez, why don't you just get his number?
I already have his number.
Do you actually? Because you've been messaging him at Facebook
I've just
Messenger.
messaged you. I need to get your number.
No, I want your number.
Yeah.
Slide into those DMs. I like how you were.
Hey,
What?
that
Turn
is
your vibrator
wild
off.
Shit.
But it's Dave.
I've noticed that too over the years, that Twitch has just declined with video games, because I mean they added all those different sections.
Yeah.
It was just like the just chatting and then the gaming, and then ASMR thoughts decided to come in and be like, hey, blah blah blah.
Well, you have like the ASMR, and then you have the just chatting. There was the IRL section.
Yeah.
So that was really big. They had to shut that down, unfortunately. But it still like exists within like just chatting and stuff like that.
Right.
But no, I just think that at least what I've noticed is viewership is a lot higher when somebody's just talking. Even the larger streamers like Dr. Disrespect and stuff. Like you never really see the clips of him playing games anymore. The ones that are uploaded to YouTube are the ones where he's talking about like specific things and stuff like that. And maybe it's just the channels that I watch, but that's prefer a much more mature audience. Like I think a lot of like younger kids probably would rather watch like Fortnite or like somebody play Fortnite.
Fortnite. I can't watch people playing Fortnite. Or,
That shit makes me sick.
Yeah, it gives me a headache.
Which, who was? I was talking to somebody not too long ago, and we were talking about it on how like you go watch these kids and like they'll be running straight, and me watching it, I'm thinking like, oh dude, there's like a guy there, you gotta hide behind that tree or something, and then the next thing you know, they're fucking over the tree.
Yeah.
Because just that quick, like they built all these fucking walls and all this shit, and I'm like, I can't do it. Like it makes me.
It's way too fast paced.
Yeah.
It makes me sick. And then
it never used to be like that either. When it first came out, it was just
like
pretty
a
much
battle royale.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna shoot you or you're gonna shoot me.
well, I don't think anybody got the mechanics
Right.
because it's fucking difficult.
Now people have fucking shaped a whole new game, man, and like people can build forts in like 2 seconds flat.
They won't even be engaged in a gunfight. They'll just hear a gunshot, on the way other end of the map, Tiny Nipples or whatever their cities are called in there. And they'll just build themselves like a fully furnished 3-story house and live in that bitch. Yeah. They'll bake some bread and then they'll sit up at the top and try to scope people, but it's like...
Well, they added... I only saw this because I watched like meme pages and shit, and then they're making fun of it. And there was they added a grenade into the game to where you just throw it down and it just pops up a tower.
Yeah.
Like a whole
Oh,
fort.
what?
And
That's
like,
been out for a while too. Like,
in
it's
like
crazy.
5 seconds.
They got some nut shit in that, like like the boogie bomb.
Oh, I was just going to
Like,
say...
you fucking throw that and it makes their characters dance.
People are really upset right now because they added a mech. You can get in this big mech and just go kill everybody, and it's like so hard to kill.
You fit 2 people in it.
Yeah.
In a mech?
Yeah. It's a 2-person mech. So
Metal
like,
Gear.
The person on the bottom is in like a little tube and they control like where it goes. And the person on top has like the machine guns and the rockets, and they can tilt and like 360.
That's crazy.
Oh my god, dude.
In a battle royale, like, it doesn't make any sense.
And there's only like a couple of them. Anyways, what I was
Just to
saying
have an
before
oscillating...
though was like being hard on the eyes. Like I kind of feel like my age at that point, because it's like, and not what our parents said. Like as we were young, like, oh, I can't play those games with you. They make me sick.
Stop playing the fucking game.
Yeah.
It makes
And
me
now,
hurt.
Here I am saying the same thing about shit my kids play.
I think like as a kid, like when you watch something like that, it's a lot more fun because you don't really have to like think about it. But like I don't know, as you get older, it feels like you're just much more interested in like a person's personality than you are like really the game at all. Right. So I think that's why Twitch is kind of like moving away from that, is because like a lot more people are getting into it. A lot more people just want to you want to listen to somebody's personality, and it's hard to bring that out when you're playing a game of Fortnite. You know, so that's why the sections like just chatting are generally when people have like their highest viewership, is because like they get the chance to bring that up.
The ones I like watching are like streamers that immediately respond to the chat or as quickly as they can.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Those are the ones that aren't the serious gamers too, though. Like they don't really give a shit. They just play to play.
Yeah, they just play and then they want to chat. Like eventually, that's where I want our channel to be, where we like throw up a second monitor or whatever and just have chat. We'll just have one dude sit there in front of the chat. So and so said this. So and so said this.
I've thought about doing that with virtual reality. And like I was gonna set that up, but it's hard to like get a group for me anyway where like I can rely on somebody to be there. It seems like you guys have a different setup where I would like count on at least somebody else to be there to like read chat.
Right.
But it's cool because that's the problem with virtual reality right now. Like VR streaming, you can't read the chat very well.
Right.
But if you had like another person there to talk to the chat and then like one person to play and they were playing like something interesting, I think that could be like really well.
Yeah, I think because we recently just picked up VR.
VR for the PS4.
VR is wild.
I have the
man.
PS4 VR too. It's
So,
really good.
Yeah, like, it's really awesome. I know we picked up that game, Super Hot.
Super hot.
Super
Yeah.
Hot is sick.
Super
And so
hot.
I think the last time I was up, we were challenging each other to like the endless battles and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure I still hold the high score on that.
I don't know.
You know what I would really love to do sometime with you?
Yeah.
There's a game called Bravo Team. It is a co-op military-based shooter in VR. And I would love to get like my VR in here as well and like set them up side by side
That'd be
and
sick.
play that together. And then we could like, that would be awesome content. I would love to record that.
That'd be dope. I think that'd really be
I would
awesome
love
for
to read
our
the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you read the chat for us.
Yeah, when you coming up next?
I'll be up again in 2 weeks whenever I get paid again.
Let's set it up if you got some free time.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be awesome.
Definitely. So 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
Work something out.
Let me check my schedule.
You better schedule those days off.
It's going to be
now,
hot
boy.
as balls in here though if we do that.
Oh, we'll have
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
running.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
God.
With
You
all
guys
of us
are
just
playing.
swinging in the air.
Yeah. You guys are playing the VR and it's already hot.
We're
'cause
just
you're moving.
drenched in sweat.
We're gonna have to go to that gun store, see if they got Camelbacks in there, and just hook up rigs and just start just having a constant feed of water the whole time we're doing that.
Just an IV.
Yeah, just
You guys just drop.
VR is nuts, man. Because I mean,
That's pretty crazy.
we tried it out for about a week. We went pretty hard into it, and every time that I took it off, I just felt so weird. Like my depth perception was just
Yeah.
everything.
It fucks
my
with that.
my cognitive skills.
I didn't try it a whole lot. I tried the Skyrim, and I think if I knew the controls better, like it would have been.
The Skyrim controls are bad too.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. That's the
Yeah.
PSVR's biggest issue. They don't have analog sticks.
Yeah.
So you gotta like move by pressing X. And then like if you're casting like a spell, you gotta like have your hand, but then you want to run backwards. So it's like, I don't know how to do that. Like your fire was going everywhere. It's
I was kind of getting it and kind of being able to like move around, but AJ played like right before, and it saved as he like walked into this house and like pissed all these fucking people off.
oh
He was
yeah.
throwing fire bombs and shit
And
at them.
there's like 0 health left.
Oh,
so
no.
like when I was trying to start it, like I'd have to run out of this fucking house and then like try and get away from like 4 people.
You'd have a whole village after you.
Yeah.
So what I did, what he's talking about. So like I started playing it, and I was trying to get used to the mechanics of the game and using the controllers. There's like 2 different options you can use, to where you can either use the teleport button, to where you can just look and it just like Google Maps and it just teleports you like 5 feet ahead, and then you have to figure out where the fuck you're looking at. Or you can just use, I think, like the buttons to go ahead and move around. And so I stuck with the buttons anyways. And so I went to the first town that you go to, and I was killing all the chickens. And then I was picking the locks
As
in
you do.
people's houses, and I was killing everybody in their houses at night.
And I was killing all the indoor chickens.
And then I went to the blacksmith, and then everybody was sitting down having supper, and I was like, I equipped both fireballs, and I was just sitting there just tossing them. And
Your
everybody,
food looks cold.
So, and then I saved and quit because I got sick.
I don't want to kill it anymore.
I got really sick from playing it for too long. So then,
I cannot even put the helmet on and look around, and I get fucking just lit. Like, I get so sick.
I was feeling so just out of place after the VR that I had to actually Google it. I Googled all the symptoms, and everybody was like, yeah, it's normal for like the first week. And a lot of people are weird as shit because that stuff kind of like wigged me out. Everybody, like most of the reviews, I read it on Reddit, everybody liked that feeling of feeling kind of out of body. They're like, yeah, I'm kind of mad that I don't get that every time I do it. It only lasted like the first week.
Yeah, I don't get that. I didn't even get it my first time either.
Really?
Like, it was so weird. Like, I don't know. I do think it's so cool though, because you can't really explain how it feels to somebody. Like, they really need to try it for themselves before, like, because you're like, oh, dude, it's like so cool. It's like virtual reality. Like, it's here, and they're like, nah, can't be. And then they try it out. They're like, this is crazy. Like, yeah.
Oh, also, a few years ago, I saw that those VRs you could have it where you get like a kind of like those little treadmill things. You can watch you in place and you can spin and stuff.
Thousands of dollars, but yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of harness yourself.
Yeah, I'll probably get one.
Yeah.
Put it over
I'm
there.
gonna fit it right here.
But I think the first VR that I tried, they got that whole Oculus rig set up at Northern Air.
Yeah.
And they have this whole VR system set up to where we can all like, there's like 4 people and they have like these 3 different game modes for it. And we tried that out, and that was pretty dope. Like, you can actually they have like the whole Oculus Rift guns and stuff like that where you put the controllers into. And I know me and John just got done doing that today.
Yeah, I saw you fuckers on that snap. You're just sending me specifically the snaps.
Yeah.
Are you guys doing shit? Did you guys eat?
No.
What does that matter?
Yeah, what does that matter?
I'm hungry. I worked all day.
You work at a sub shop. You should have got
I didn't
some.
want it.
Crab ass.
Tired of it.
Did you guys eat?
I've been working since 6 this morning, and I want rhombus, guys.
Did you guys do stuff without me? Well, of course you did.
Of course he spent the day we having fun.
Of course, you didn't just sit there and wait for me.
The first VR that I tried was the Nintendo VR in like the early 90s.
Dude, me too.
Oh, like the red and black thing?
Yeah.
The thing that like rotted people's eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was right there with you, dude.
That's probably why you wear glasses now.
It was Mario Tennis. And that thing was pretty fucking rough.
Virtual Boy, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a real thing? They had a VR that far back?
Yeah.
It
was
literally
like
fell.
90.
It was awful. It was like a
92.
screen, and then you just like put your eyes into it.
It was just a basic computer screen.
Like a little tripod, and then it was like this big, like housing thing that came out like that far.
Oh.
And then you just like put your face up into it.
Wow, different.
And it worked. I mean, the way that it did, but it was very, very simple. It was just like all black, and then there would be like the red outlines to show you where everything's at.
Did it feel like you were more immersed? Or did it just feel like you were really close to a TV?
I definitely felt like I was. Like,
You weren't even fucking born yet. Shut up.
What are you talking about?
You weren't born yet.
I felt like I was Mario.
It feels like how you would imagine like when you watch shit like Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like where like the original trilogy where like they have that shit come up to their eyes and then like it zones
Oh.
in. Like it feels how you would think that would feel.
Okay.
It's very similar.
You felt like Red Leader standing by.
Not as cool though. Not as cool because your eyes hurt. Like,
So it felt like the original Game Boy Advanced
no,
with the little light attachment you can put on the screen.
that wasn't for the. Did they
Shut
have
up.
one for the Game Boy?
Yeah, because they didn't have the light.
Shut the fuck up.
I think it was just Game Boy Advance or Game Boy. No, the color
Like, they
had the
had
light.
the original like the big gray brick. Like,
Yeah.
That had like the extensions. They had like the fucking external speakers. I had all that shit.
And it had the green little screen with
Yeah.
like the black. Yeah, they had a
magnified
light.
it.
They had a light attachment so you can play it at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I
what
didn't
I'm
think they had the light attachment for the first one. I thought it was
Yeah.
for
Yeah, 'cause
the
you
other
can
ones.
you can play that shit at night when you're in the car.
Because I remember they had like
wouldn't
the
know
Picto
this.
chat for the Game Boys too, like the newer models where you can just take a picture of yourself and like it printed out on a separate
That
little
wasn't
screen.
until the color.
Yeah.
AJ, I think you're only old enough to remember the Game Boy SD that flip one.
Shut up.
I was born in 2012, so.
So you were born
I'm
into
a
this.
millennial. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You guys have it all wrong. Do you remember those little cube devices where you would get them at like McDonald's and you'd have like that little character on the inside? The 8-bit character.
You just
I heard about those ancient relics. Those are Tamagotchi.
And you can stack them and like make an apartment out of people. And like dude, really? And if you tilted the box, like the guy would fall.
Or if you shook it, he would throw up.
Yeah, I remember that.
Woohoo! Right?
Do you guys remember Neopets?
Dude, do you remember Moon Shoes?
Moon Shoes were the shit. Dude.
No. for real though, do you remember how hard we went with?
For real, friends. Troll dolls?
No.
Webcams.
No, it was,
I had like 52
I remember
webcams.
Webcams.
kind of like
Furbies?
Neopets. What was it though?
Oh,
Pokemon.
No.
yeah. What the fuck?
Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Digimon. Bionicle.
Bionicles were cool.
We weren't really into
It was like
Bionicles.
Neopets.
What was that? Because then like we stopped playing like not long after they did like that
Club Penguin.
that MMO thing where you could like go and like run around.
Yeah, once they did.
You mean
the
a computer
MMO.
game or?
Talking about RuneScape?
They kind of had the thing like RuneScape, but no, it was like what the fuck was it called?
They started with toys first, and
Like-
then
I am so.
Like you had your little character that you could do, and you could like buy all like the different shit for it. Remember, you guys could do like
Yeah.
the cars and like the fish tank.
Gaia
Gaia.
Online.
Yeah,
Fuck, that's old shit.
Say no more.
we went fucking hard.
Yeah,
with
we
that.
did go hard on that.
I dropped at least $20 on that shit because I was like 13, 14. That's all I had.
But then whenever you started working, you dropped hundreds into it.
Yeah.
That's me
Yeah.
on League of Legends, dude. I started working at Quiznos and I was like, oh, just take all my money, dude. And I have at least $400 spent on that game. Like,
Oh fuck.
yeah, a free
League of
game.
Legends, isn't that card game?
No, it's like a MOBA.
Oh, that's the aerial view, right? The top down.
Yeah.
You gotta click a shit ton before.
That's it. You click. That's a lot of clicking.
Who was that old teacher that you guys used to have at Valley that did he? How much?
Oh,
did he-
Taylor.
Yeah, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor's
he,
cool.
He dropped like how much into
Free rounds.
Yeah,
That's
free
what it's
rounds.
called. Yeah.
He
I thought he
played.
did a Mafia game too.
Yeah, he played that Facebook game called Mafia Wars, I think.
Oh yeah, that he dropped hundreds into. I still feel bad to this day. He let me borrow a collector's edition of the TV show Rome. I don't know why he gave what grade were we? An 8th grader.
That was 8th. He also took his aviators. He had Polaroid blue aviators.
Well, he gave me a box set, not a collector's, a box set of
It was like the first 2 seasons of Rome.
Of Rome, because it was like, I think we told him we liked Spartacus and we liked 300. We were into more mature shows at that age, so he's like, oh, I've got this.
I scammed that guy out of a 24-pack of Coca-Cola or Dr. Pepper.
Yeah,
the hell?
do that.
He said that if you got 100% on like his timed quizzes, like the math quizzes, so like there was like multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division.
Oh, I remember those.
You got
little sheets,
100%. Yeah, he said that he would buy us a 24-pack of soda, and so you get a minute for each, right?
Yeah.
And it's like maybe 20 questions on each one or something. I don't know, but I was able to do all 4 of them in 4 minutes, but I was not able to do each one in 1 minute. So like after he would call time on one of them, I would be like, okay, and I like finished the addition subtraction pretty easily, but I just would start working on the next one, and like.
Oh
so, yeah.
man.
At the end, he was like, "Do you get them all?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, here's a 24-pack." I didn't do it again because I did not dare try to scam him twice, but
He knew karate.
yeah, he's gonna take me out.
He knew a little bit of karate.
It was the funniest shit. Because they were like, yeah, can you show us a move, please? And then he was like, yeah, you want me to show you a move? And we're like, yeah. And he fucking did, he's like, okay.
This is at his desk. He didn't move either. And he's like,
throw a hand at me. And we're like, throw a hand. He's like, yeah, throw a fist. And Jesse did. And he goes like just a simple
he just
block.
deflected it. And I was like, oh fuck. Like I fell off balance.
Yeah, he made Jesse a twister.
Yeah, Mr. Taylor was cool. He was probably my favorite teacher.
I couldn't imagine him like doing like out in the street if he were to get into a confrontation or like
He just deflects everyone.
well, I mean, like he I just remember him just wearing like sweater vests and like just a nice dress shirt. So like it's just you see this dude just beating the shit out of a bunch of rugby kids in a sweater vest.
He did dress like a dad, but he not as far as sweater vests. He would wear just like short sleeve, button up shirts, and like khakis all the time. That was about it.
I got like 8 minutes left too, so yeah.
Yeah. So we'll wrap it up with you. We'll just speed round questions. Okay?
Yeah, definitely.
what got you into doing YouTube in the first place? Like, why did you want to do it?
I just watched YouTubers and I thought they were like super cool. I recently actually made the decision to pursue this stuff full time.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited actually. Like I feel great. I'm going to keep working in my restaurant. I just dropped out of college. I was a communications major, and then I realized like I'm learning social media strategy. That was kind of what I was going for. I was like, dude, I don't need to go to school to like learn how to do that. I've learned like everything I know off of the internet. Like I can prove, if I can prove that I know how to do what I'm doing, then it's like I'm already employable. If I can't prove, then I clearly don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. So like, I probably shouldn't be employed in that area. But right. So that's kind of my logic. I'm like super excited for it, and we'll see where the next year takes me.
So starting when are you going to be full time now, or have you?
I've been full time for like the last 3 months. Yeah.
Oh shit.
So I work and then I put all my free time into my content, pretty much. Yeah.
That's what it takes, man. That's the sacrifice for good content.
Yeah. Honestly, I think a lot of people like they want to do it full time, but they don't treat it like a full time job. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
It requires just as much work. I mean, if that's what you really want to do, instead of going to, your 9 to 5.
Fuck 9 to 5s.
You can't just expect to be like, I'll stream for a couple hours on Twitch and get like a million subscribers. And
I feel like the mentality of it is whenever people are actually able to start doing it, and then they go ahead and they're talking about it, and then they go ahead and start like creating the content. That's when they're like, oh yeah, okay, so I'm here and I'm just gonna do it as like a hobby. I'm just gonna treat it as like a side thing. Yeah, it's like, oh, I'll upload my stuff every now and then. And they don't really take it too serious after they get started and they actually have the courage to just go ahead and start up their own podcast. And then shortly after they do that and they don't treat it right, then that's when it collapses pretty much.
Well, and I think people need to realize too, like, it's okay to treat it like a hobby, but if you want to do it as a full-time job, you can't treat it like a hobby.
Exactly.
There'll be days that you just, or not even days, like every single day I'm like, man, I don't really want to sit down and work on this video, but I have to. That's my job.
Yeah.
Like if this is what I want as a career, that's what I got to do.
I would literally want to do anything else besides this right now.
Yeah.
I'd rather go slam some drinks, but this podcast gotta get done.
Yeah. Every job, there's gonna be something you don't want to do.
Yeah,
you just gotta. That's why a big thing that I preach on my channel is you need to teach yourself discipline, not motivation. So like a lot of people, they ride off of motivation and they'll be like, you'll be motivated for like the first 2 weeks. And then after the first 2 weeks, like you're gonna sit down and be like, I really don't want to make a video today. And you're like, okay, well you could either not do that or you could do that. And like, I don't know. The first time I got past over that hump, like felt so good. I was like, I don't want to do this. And I was like, I did it anyway. I put out a video, and like the next day I was like, dude, I can do anything. I can do that every time now. Like,
yeah, you feel really productive too. Yeah. You know what I mean? You spend a couple hours and then it's like, whoa, I got this video done already.
Yeah.
I don't do it. I don't edit. I'm not smart when it comes to all this tech stuff, but
you can teach yourself.
I've been trying to stream for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I just can't learn on my own. I learn by doing. If somebody shows me, I can pick that up. I have a Sharingan, so.
What?
Look at AJ looked up like, what? You said Sharingan?
So I fucking heard him, and then like I'm on my phone, and then I forget that I'm trying to subconsciously not think about that, but like it can still fucking see me over just like, yeah, sure, fucking podcast, right? Yeah. But and then all of a sudden, I got a Sharingan, so I gotta go.
So who are some of your like influences?
So there's a really big one on Twitch right now. He started like his own like Twitch tips channel, just on how to grow basically, because he's grown on a lot of social media. So his name is Harris Heller. He's pretty cool.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to him. He's been going at it. He started doing streaming, and this was one of like my biggest influences for the reason that he said that he wanted to become a Twitch streamer essentially, and then he went and he did it. Like he used the knowledge that he knew, which is so like inspiring to me. Because a lot of people, like I said earlier, think that it's luck, and I can't believe in luck, because it's like, for me, it's like, if you really like want to do something and you work hard for it, you can achieve it. So that's kind of something I've always believed in, something that he's proven, at least in that one instance. Another really good inspiration for me is his name's Destiny. He does like a lot of political debates and stuff on Twitch, and he's a larger streamer. He's like probably top like 1% of streamers easily. Gotcha. And he was one of the first people on Twitch, and like the reason that he's my inspiration is because he started at a time where it wasn't easy to stream. Like right now, it's really easy. You can download OBS, you just put in your stream key, hit the go live button.
Yeah.
That's the base of what you need to do. For him, he had to like figure out how to set up all that coding and everything. So I think that's really interesting. I don't know if he did the coding, but he had to figure out how to do like the network and set it up so we could actually live stream when it was first starting out. This is when it was just in TV and everything. So
I think if you really, really hardcore want to do it, then you'll just I don't want to say like force, but you'll make yourself learn how to do it.
Yeah, you got to teach yourself.
Yeah, exactly. If you really want to put all your effort into it and you really want to treat it like kind of like it's a full-time job, and it essentially will be eventually if you rank up viewers and followers and stuff like that. The more you just got to keep updating with like your technology and how you handle everything.
Yeah.
So
well, it's also adjusting and figuring out like your own way of doing things.
Exactly.
I feel like you're an entrepreneur, like in this field, you know, and like if you sit around and you wait for somebody else to like teach you how to do it, like a lot of the times you're just gonna fall behind because then somebody else has already done it, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So you gotta stay ahead of the game. You gotta kind of stay on everything. But that's my view.
And if you love what you do, is it really working?
Shut up.
It's not for me right now, honestly.
Shut up.
Like, putting it all
I
the
love
time
doing
now.
this. I love sitting in front of a mic. I love bullshitting. I love doing the editing process and seeing it uploaded. You know, getting that little notification on my phone, like Let's Play's been uploaded. I'm like, fuck yeah, and I listen to it right away.
Yeah.
It just sounds.
And that's what I look forward to. The majority of the reasons why like I'm so happy to come down and is to do the podcast and to actually be on a couple episodes. I'm rarely on them because the distance I have to travel, but I'm gonna start changing that soon and go ahead and start doing my project from Duluth and start adding my content as well, so we have more branches out there. So if anyone wants to apply to the Duluth branch, hit me up. We'll get more people out there. I'm lonely, it's just me. But anyways, I think that's gonna be it. I think we're gonna wrap it up. We'll do outros. Start.
Yeah, we'll do outros. Casey, thanks for being here, dude.
Absolutely.
It's so great. We're gonna have you on again if you're in 2 weeks.
I'm down.
In 2 weeks. Yeah, definitely.
Shout-outs at TheKingLive.
Yeah, twitch.tv/TheKingLive, or you can check me out on YouTube.
There we go.
YouTube.com/TheKingLive.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Have an internet.
We'll see you guys later, okay? All right, bye.
Later. Have fun. Peace.